2021 at 5 p.m. local time.
Okay. Hey, YouTube. It's Matthew here, live with your revelations / disclosure warning coverage here. Sorry about the glare. I'm bringing you a couple of earthquakes, and then I'm going to try to throw in some space weather so that you can try to relate how the two are connected. First, let's start with this guy.
On December 21st, 2021 at 5 p.m. local time, a strong series of earthquakes began underneath the Geomagnetic volcano in Iceland. In the span of 22 hours since, more than 1,000 earthquakes have occurred, the largest of which was a magnitude 4.9. These earthquakes were unusually shallow and had a lengthy magmatic signature to them.
Forgive the sloppy coverage here.
At the same time, the harmonic tremor of this volcano dramatically spiked, reaching levels not seen since the volcano stopped erupting on September 18th. As a result, the Iceland Meteorological Service raised the alert level of the Krísuvík volcanic system, which Geldingadalur is a part of, from yellow to orange.
Okay, and then over here, in Mexico, we have that one, and here we have...
On December 20th, 2021, at 11:02 a.m. local time, a new explosive eruption began at the Hunga volcano in the nation of Tonga. In this video, courtesy of
the other one was Iceland. This is
light plume rising into the
Tonga.
atmosphere. However, closer to sea level, faint amounts of gray and black coloration became visible. These darker colored plumes represented small volumes of lava and ash, which are...
Okay, and then over here, you can see we have major earthquake activation, M6, class flare, human resonant engines. This is Paul White, Gold Eagle. It was put out on December 23rd, which is today, I do believe.
About an hour ago in southern Mexico, just south of the Tropic of
I can't get closer here.
Cancer here. This was out in the ocean. We had a powerful 6.0 earthquake activation. Jose Maria Pino Suarez, Nuevo Nahuapa, Jalisco, Mexico. This was out in the ocean here at 23:22 UTC on the 22nd at 2322 and 22221, 18.832 latitude, 107.207 longitude. The Middle American Trench here that runs up around the Ring of Fire here. Here we have the equator. We're running through Quito, Ecuador, the capital. You can see here through the Galapagos 0 point. You can see here this cluster of activations running up the spine of the Kundalini, Pachamama through the Andes Mountains. Chile 4.1. We had the 4.6 Chile.
Sorry.
Over here, 4.1 San Antonio de los Cobres, Argentina, which is on the border, Bolivia, Chile, Argentina. Very powerful portal here. And we have Lake Titicaca up here, not too far from there in Peru. We had a 4.3. A lot of activation, a lot of energy, a lot of releasing through these solstice gateway window and these powerful codes coming in here on the Schumann charts. We're starting to get some activity here. 3 UTC. A lot of energy. And from our divine sister of the light, which I will create a separate video on this time shift and core matrix timeline.
I'm not sure what that's about. But then we're going to jump back over here. And what I'm going to show you here, hopefully. There we go. Of course, it's going to act up. What else would it do? All right. Where is the solar weather? Suspicious observers. Okay, and then we come over here to suspicious observer. And we go right here. And push the wrong button.
At JP Morgan, it's
Commercials on the commercials, folks.
on its own, without the drama.
As always.
Commission-free trades and support when you need us most. Planning, investing, advice. JP Morgan Wealth Management.
Okay. Suspected CME tonight, December 23rd. Sorry.
Quiet right now, and yet elegantly holds the tongue so as to not make a scene. Plasma filaments dancing, sunspot situation deepening, and while we await larger eruptions and Earth impacts, so far there has just been that one eruption that came off center disk on the south. That's the one we saw tracked by the Emerald spirals earlier this week, and it should be arriving tonight. NOAA expects a low-level geomagnetic storm, but interestingly, its magnetism should either allow for deflection and no storm, or the coupling could bring higher level storms if it hits at the right magnetic angle. Time will tell. Meanwhile, it's not something to fear, and so portions of our focus must apply to the sunspot situation. It really did look like the Earth-facing solar quiet was going to stomp out those little embers, but they caught a breeze and fanned themselves back up. We've got sunspots all over the place, and while they are developing slowly here, this is the surging rise in sunspot production that elevates the star into sunspot maximum peak conditions. For those who got the Bartol neutron alert earlier this week, it matched the sustained higher solar wind speed baseline, which also implies the same boost upward in gears for the sun. Top quake of the last day was a 6-pointer off the coast of Mexico.
The one we
Luckily,
just
it
covered
was
on the
far
other
enough
one.
out there that there isn't major damage at the coastline. Supposedly, the James Webb Telescope is set to launch on Christmas Day. They are closely watching space weather, however, as the multi-billion-dollar payload has already waited years past its expected launch date. Some aesthetics up next, as we're zooming with ESO way out to find a bonanza of rogue planets. Planets without a stellar home.
Okay, he goes
Tracing around
into
the
a
galaxy.
lot
None of them are anywhere near
of covering stars and solar weather, various other
Looked on
things.
paper here, born of space-based observations of magnetic fields during tsunamis. Ground
Tsunami
stations in
magnetic
Mexico
fields
confirming as
are
well that the magnetic
detectable
fields can give away the
before
approach
sea
and
level
the
change.
magnitude of the tsunami. They plan to take away that guessing game. Last but not least, sure, it's a bit of a
That's what this science is for, to predict those kinds of events so that they can be evacuated those areas.
Pre-environment conditions, the paths to explosion are critically important because they've been breaking down the walls
Right.
that are keeping the sun's version of those recurrent events.
Thank
from
you,
entering
Mr.
legitimate discussions.
BB333. I appreciate it, as always. But that is about, with all the stuff going on, the huge volcano and Hunga Tonga, we have the sunspots, the earthquakes around the world causing also
Those recurrent
tsunamis
events.
and other weather. This is his latest post, Mr. BB333. This is the weatherman I go by, as do many other YouTubers and truthers, if you will. Yeah. In case we get cut off, thank you for watching. This is Woodward Entertainment. My bad. This isn't Mr. MBB333. This is Mr. Woodward.
I tend to get a little excited whenever the Egyptian and Greek god worshipping NASA holds a press conference or makes an announcement. Because what they announce never really feels like an authentic discovery. It feels more like a disclosure of something they already knew. Does that make sense?
I wonder if I hit the right
Now,
one.
if you haven't heard already, NASA has announced the discovery of water
No, I did not.
summit surface of the moon. From what I understand, this was
You gotta have the arrow on the right one, and I missed it. There's just so much going on. I wanted this terracane right here. This is what I'm trying to get. Where's this terracane?
The wind field showed much more strength back on the 21st. And here's another screen grab of
I'll go ahead and back this up for you. This was from 30 minutes ago. As you can see, I'm trying to catch you up with where I'm at here.
Central Plains. We're over here at the GOES 16. Starting to see some activity move from west to east. We're going to come back and take a look at some of the potential wind conditions here in just a moment. That
This is
could
a
be
storm
in
moving
place
in.
for the next several days. Also over here at spaceweather.com, we have some weather in space to talk about a possible geomagnetic storm event on Christmas. Multiple
Yeah,
solar flares.
that's what I was trying to get
this
to.
week have hurled at least 2 CMEs towards the Earth. NOAA forecast models predict glancing blows on December 23rd. And the 25th, the impacts, albeit small, could produce a G1 class geomagnetic storm, which could produce auroras in the high latitudes. And we also have a comet to talk about. Comet Leonard has been in the skies now for several days, and it seems to be getting bigger and bigger as it gets closer and closer to the sun. We'll be able to take a look at it here in a few days on the SOHO LASCO C3 instrument. It should be quite a spectacle, but we'll have to wait and see. Photo here taken by Michael Jager on December 21st of 2021. You can see that the tail of the comet has grown exponentially. Once again, we're waiting on this to appear on the SOHO LASCO C3 instrument. We'll take a closer look at the comet when it gets closer to the sun. But once again, possible geomagnetic storms brewing for not only tonight, but tomorrow night as well. And coming over here to the Space Weather Prediction Center, you can see the CME, or at least one of the CMEs that's en route. Right there's when it left the sun, and it should make contact with the Earth right there on the 23rd, late on the 23rd, and then another round actually on Christmas Day on the 25th.
Which could cause power outages.
And
And
out of bounds, multiple earthquakes
look,
in Kentucky.
I live in Kentucky.
2.6 coming in at 11 miles deep.
Nowhere
That
near
last night
where
during
there
the
should be
overnight hours
earthquakes.
at 3:29 a.m. We talked about the 2.4 in south central Illinois a few days ago, and then on the 21st there was a 3.1 magnitude in central Alabama. Not quite sure what's going on there. That's showing that was a surface earthquake. There's no depth with that earthquake that was near Maplesville, Alabama. Once again on the 21st of December, 3.1 magnitude earthquake. You can see the quakes there in the Ohio River Valley. They just look out of place. You don't normally see earthquakes in that part of the country. I want to take you guys now over to the website. Quick look at the Schumann resonance. You can see the background noise continues.
Yeah, this is a current Schumann,
Associated to the recent uptick in solar activity. There's been
which
multiple
affects
in-class
mood
solar
and
flares that
mental
are
well-being.
that we talked about earlier, and those CMEs.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead, and when I get a chance, I'm gonna pause it. I don't want to take too much from Mr. BB333 here,
That we talked about earlier.
although
And
this
those
is pretty
CMEs
early.
will be making contact with the Earth shields over the next 48 hours. I'll be over to the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera.
Yeah, we got to cover
Seismic
you,
risk,
Yellowstone.
monitor the mighty supervolcano.
Part of
All
Revelations
quiet
coverage.
open magma intrusion scattered around
If it
the
goes,
caldera.
that's
Some
it.
earthquake activity over
We'll
here
have
in
to
the
figure out how to live in the new way.
quadrant, but for the most part, pretty quiet. I wanted to show you guys what the power outage map looks like right now over at poweroutage.us. And this is December 23rd, and right now there are no major power outages anywhere across the country. More than
Yay.
likely, looking at the
All right.
weather forecast over
Nice.
the next few days, those power outages could increase. And it looks like to me the stage is being set for another round of high winds moving across the Central Plains over the next 72 to 96 hours. And you can see the weather system starting to move in across the Rockies. I want to show you guys over here at VintageSky.com just how large this would.
All right, we'll go ahead and pause it. Thank you, YouTube. Let's see, switch it over. Will it not switch over? It will not. All right, well, YouTube, thank you. Good night, good day, good morning, whatever the case may be, wherever you are when you see this. Matt out.